thanks for joining us. Welcome to Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguela. Gender strategy for the mining and steel sectors and the women in mining in Nigeria strategy have been unveiled by the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake. The two strategic documents focus on 8 key priority areas, including action against the women abuse and gender biases, as well as active women participation. All right, just before we proceed, let's take a quick break. We're back shortly.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
All right, earlier we told you about the gender strategy for mining and steel sectors and women in the mining industry in Nigeria. Let's hear what the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, has to say about this.
Sustainable development, empowering women in mining in Nigeria, ensuring that women in mining are also in the leadership positions, even in the governance structures to ensure sustainability of the sector. These are some of the 8-point agenda for women in mining, for strengthening women in mining in Nigeria. And we are pursuing it. And like I said, the Solid Minerals Ministry is a testament to the advancement of women, to the empowerment of women in mining in Nigeria.
All right, so we want to expand the discussion, and we have a guest in the studio, the Vice President, Women in Mining in Nigeria, Ambassador Regina Ezua. She's here in the capacity of the President of Women in Mining. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Ruth. And it's our pleasure, Women in Mining, being here on Africa's largest network. Thank you very much.
All right, on the 30th of April, we saw the Minister of Solid Minerals Development. Okay, so Madam Regina, please, we're trying to get you fixed. We're having a technical issue. We'll definitely pick up with the conversation after this break. Please stay tuned. Thank you for being there. Just before we pick up the conversation on women in mining, let's bring you some other reports. The National Human Rights Commission has released April 2024 edition of the Dashboard on Human Rights Violations. The monthly dashboard on the state of human rights across the country was created to enable the Commission monitor, investigate and report cases of human rights violations in line with the Commission's mandate, beyond providing a graphical presentation of human rights situation in the country. The April dashboard also serves as a guide and measurement of progress made by the Commission in promoting and protecting the human rights of every Nigerian. The dashboard shows that 19,417 complaints of human rights violations were recorded across 36 states of the Federation.
I can tell you there has hardly ever been any situation where we are investigating any complaint and we got any directive from government to do it this way or that way. It has never happened in the history of this commission.
Continue to advocate that the stiffest penalty prescribed under the laws of Nigeria should be meted to whoever is found guilty of rape or defilement.
So says it will continue to cooperate with government at all levels, the civil society organizations, the media and international development partners to ensure human rights are enforced in Nigeria. 14 out of the 24 students of the Confluence University of Science and Technology, Osara, who were kidnapped last week, have been released. Kogi State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Femi Fanwo, disclosed this on NTS Good Morning Nigeria while speaking on the abduction of Osara students. He says efforts are on top gear to rescue the 10 students remaining in captivity.
Western Good Morning Nigeria are emphatic that laudable as response and release of the 14 Osara students is prevention of insecurity is key. The guests decried talking often after the act.
We know the intention of these outlaws is to ensure that they scare people away from going to school, but we would encourage them by putting up, by upgrading our security architecture around our institutions, our citadels of learning, to ensure that the confidence of students to go to school is not in any way affected.
What you need to do is to be able to build adequate intelligence. And if you go to Osara, you find in some locations there, because these guys are in the bush, you find 100 telephones. Somebody is charging it for them. You go there, you find a market. These people come. So when you find some people that their livestock suddenly increase, you should, create an awareness.
Mitigating insecurity, they acknowledge, cannot be left to security agencies alone. They reiterate the need for proactive community-driven strategies.
The community should have the security agencies being chased, as well as the security agencies also should chase the community, so that there will be an interwoven strategy to ensure that partnership and collaboration is put in place, not always to be doing what is being called as after-action review.
We need to address the issue of security. We must accord it maximum priority, and we must fund it adequately. We must not give it a percentage and, because if we have security, other things, as I said, will just be in place.
With the CCTV of the school off before the attack, fishing out the culprit, continuous monitoring, introduction of security drills, and early warning mechanism, the guests say must be maximally prioritized. They also suggested improved coordination and synergy amongst all security agencies and stakeholders. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
All right, let's take you back to a very critical issue we wanted to talk about at the start of the bulletin. We want to bring in our guest now, Ambassador Regina Ezua, the National Vice President, Women in Mining in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Ambassador Ezua, for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we want to, I want to commend women in mining, first of all, for the good work you're doing, breaking the barriers. But on the 30th of April, the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development launched an important document, that is intended to change the narrative for women and bridge the gender gap when we're talking disparity in the mining industry. Now, with that document on gender strategy, what positive outcomes, are we expecting to see?
Thank you very much once more. With that document, we intend to see more women participation in the mining industry. As it is, the present Minister of Solid Minerals Development has been very supportive of women in mining in Nigeria. Right from his first day in office, he's been supporting us, encouraging us in different areas. And regarding this issue you just raised, the idea is to ensure that women are given fair opportunities during the entry level into offices. Because basically, by the time we get to the top management, we see very few women in that field. And that is because at the entry level, were very few. But we also know that there are quite a number of women who graduate as geologists and geoscientists who seek for opportunities for employment and are not recognized because they are regarded as women. Because of our cultural biases, and of course we have issues of parents not wanting their children to go into such fields, we see that those who are interested are actually limited by not giving them the opportunity to join the service or other avenues of employment in that field, in that industry.
Okay, Ambassador Ezuwa, these are some of the challenges you've just reeled out for us. And if women must activate fully, must participate rather fully in the mining industry, then they must be given an opportunity. Even as you mentioned, it must start from the choice of career a child will decide to go into. How is the association, help to bridge that gap, and what other areas of concern do you think will help mitigate that?
Women in Mining has actually foreseen these challenges and introduced the Girls for Mining clubs in secondary schools. And in some states, they've requested that it should actually start from primary school, so that STEM subjects are promoted and encouraged, and also girls are made aware of the fact that there are courses like mining, geosciences, and geology. Because up till now, there are some schools we've visited, and the girls have shown lack of knowledge, ignorance about the existence of mining as a course of study, and the opportunities also in that field. Another area where we have also tried to broaden the field is through the internet. Every third Thursday in every month, we have the Women in Mining Training Institute. It's an online program lasting about 2 hours where we bring professionals, both men and women, to tutor people, those who are interested public, on the various aspects of mining, the advantages, disadvantages, the opportunities on the downstream and midstream and upstream sectors of the industry.
Okay, and there are issues, women face in mining sites. Some years back, I met a young, vibrant woman who goes to these states, to collect these gemstones. She goes through the process. But that's one out of many who is succeeding. There are other women who face the challenge of molestation at mining sites. How do you think they can be protected?
Thank you. This is a very interesting question, because Women in Mining in Nigeria has actually entered an MOU with the National Human Rights Commission since 2022 to introduce an app, a WIM app, for the protection of women in mining sites. With this app, it's available on both iOS and it's on the internet through your phones, so they can actually dial that number. It's a toll-free number. Once they dial the number, it goes straight to the National Human Rights Commission, who takes note of these reports, and we are in collaboration with FIDA and the Civil Defense to prosecute such reports. So it's already on ground, and it's active in the states where it has been launched.
Okay, and if we look at the present administration policy drive, diversification, for the economy is one critical aspect they're taking seriously. And solid minerals development is also very critical. We saw the division from steel, how the ministry used to be. How do you think, states can come in, to help in terms of interventions, to help bridge this gap so that women can have a place and a stand?
Thank you. Regarding the state's intervention, we should remember that the mines are actually located in the states, in the community level. So our interventions so far have been through the community level, the chiefs, the elders, and the local leaders in the community to inform them about the challenges women are facing. And also, we have undertaking capacity building, as well as training on safer mining techniques at this level across several states in the country. And we have seen some progress and actually encouragement from these stakeholders. Another thing that I didn't mention earlier on is that at the moment, Women in Mining is a natural state engaged in a SGBV project, protection of women in the mining sites, molestation of women in mining sites. And we are introducing various methods of controlling this through both community level, reporting at mine sites, and also get the state itself involved in it. And through this, we intend that and hope also that these unfortunate incidents will reduce greatly, because it's a stigma to both those who are affected and their families. And we know what stigmatization is in our societies. It's a cultural matter that needs to be addressed seriously.
Indeed, and the conversation continues, but we'll leave it here at this time. Thank you so much, Ambassador Regina Ezwa. She's the National Vice President for Women in Mining in Nigeria. Keep up the good work, continue to stand tall, and I may consider, picking up a business in that aspect. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Ruth. Thank you for this opportunity, and on behalf of
Okay, let's pick up with other issues. The federal government, through the National Secondary School Education Commission, will undertake facility interventions in secondary schools in Kogi State. Now, this commitment was announced in Lokoja by the Commission's Executive Secretary, Yale Ajayi, during a need assessment tour of the affected schools. Solomon Ayedeyin reports.
National Secondary School Education Commission is dedicated to nurturing senior secondary graduates equipped with essential life skills. This commitment entails comprehensive regulation of senior secondary education in Nigeria, prescribing and ensuring minimum standards, and managing national senior secondary education funds. The Commission also conducts needs assessments of all senior secondary schools in Nigeria to inform government interventions. In pursuit of this mandate, the Executive Secretary of the Commission, Yale Ajayi, embarked on a tour of selected secondary schools in Kogi State to gain first-hand insight into their condition. Subsequently, he inspected facilities at the GYB Ultramodern Secondary School in Adankolo New Layout, Lokoja. The team also conducted an on-the-spot assessment of Crowder Memorial College in Lokoja, examining the school's structures and amenities.
The federal government is committed to the provision of quality education, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that is why the present government is committed to the provision of quality education.
We are quite hopeful, we are expectant. Throughout the tour, the officials reaffirmed their dedication to elevating the standard of secondary education in Kogi State. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedeyin, NTA News.
A bit of politics now. INEC says it will resume continuous voter registration exercise in Edo and Ondo states from Monday 27th May 2024 to Wednesday 5th June 2024 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including weekends. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu stated this at an interagency consultative meeting with political parties. Professor Mahmood Yakubu notes that the exercise will enable eligible citizens in the two states who have not registered to do so, and those who have registered to also have the opportunity to transfer their registration from other states of the Federation to Edo and Ondo states, or from one location to another within the two states. Sports Update is next.
Fulham defender Tosin Adara-Bioyo, father Justin Jima, Caleb Okoli of Frosinone, and Luton Town playmaker Gabriel Osho are four newly invited players to the Super Eagles in their next two 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Meanwhile, Udinese of Italy goalkeeper Maduka Okoye is making a return to the Super Eagles fall, while Francis Ozoho has been omitted in the 25-man team released by the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, for the June World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Benin Republic. Meanwhile, Godson Brume has qualified for the 2024 Olympics after recording remarkable performance, winning the third heat of the men's 100-meter at the SEC Outdoor Championship, turning in a season best of 10.05 seconds for the victory. He beat his LSU team Miles Thomas, who who ran for 10.16 seconds, and Tarsis Orogot in 10.17 seconds. Murume ran a remarkable season-best time of 9.99 seconds to record the significant milestone in his 2024 campaign. This impressive performance not only secured his championship title, but also sealed his qualification for the upcoming Paris Olympic. Back home, as a way of sustaining lasting friendship between Japan and Nigeria, traditional Chinese toy sport called kendama has been introduced to kids of TIG gymnastics in Abuja.
Kendama is not only a toy, but a tool that develop hand-eye coordination, focus, patience, and perseverance. It encourages creativity, builds a sense of community, and bridges cultural gaps.
Kendama sport is a traditional Japanese sport which was introduced to Nigeria recently to capture the spirit of cultural exchange and international cooperation between Japan and Nigeria. In the English Premier League matches round of 37, Arsenal kept their Premier League title dreams alive by ending an Old Trafford hoodoo to grind out a 1-0 win at Manchester United on Sunday to move back top of the table. For Sport Update, Amazongo, NTA News.
That concludes Panorama. Thank you for your time. Do have a beautiful day ahead. I'm Ruth Aguwele.